With horror movie franchises, there has almost always been an adage that the original will always be the best. Whether we're talking about John Carpenter's Halloween, Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the list goes on. Though, a few sequels successfully bucked this trend. You'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who thinks the original Friday the 13th is the best film of the franchise. Rob Zombie's The Devil's Rejects is infinitely better than its predecessor, The House of a Thousand Corpses. And, maybe we're not ready to admit it to ourselves, but Sleepaway Camp 2 is a masterpiece that deserves to be held on the highest pedestal we could find. But that's a conversation for another day.
Oh, I'm a happy camper. I love the clear blue sky. And with the grace of God, I'll camp until I die.
When it comes to toy-based sequels surpassing their predecessors, the family-friendly adventures of Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and all the rest inevitably first spring to mind. But how about the slightly less wholesome 1990 horror flick in which a vehement dog beats the life out of a middle-aged teacher with a yardstick?
You've been very naughty, Miss Kettlewell.
Yep. Today we are going to be looking at the Chucky franchise and why Child's Play 2 is the perfect example of what a horror sequel should be. It ups the budget, spends the money in the right places, enhances our fascination with the villain, and delivers everything that made the original work while giving you much, much more. Child's Play 2 was directed by the late John Lafia, who co-wrote the original film with Don Mancini. The sequel opens with an extended sequence detailing the resurrection and restoration of Chucky, the infamously evil good guy doll possessed by the soul of depraved killer Charles Lee Ray. The restorer really needs to moisturize their cuticles, but the job is done quickly and competently despite the massive damage sustained to the doll's physique. As we all remember, he was defeated rather mightily at the close of the first installment. Some lightning shooting into the doll's body as its eyes are being replaced telegraphed the return of the killer's soul to the one-time good guy. This doesn't bode well for Andy, our young hero from the first film, and it certainly doesn't bode well for the unfortunate technician who becomes the first victim of Chucky's murderous tendencies. While Andy's mother is admitted to a psychiatric hospital, the young boy is placed in foster care, and Chucky, once again voiced by the great Brad Dourif, determined to claim Andy's soul, is not far behind. For years, the fanbase has been carrying the torch that the 1988 original Child's Play is the only truly scary film of the series. Well, it shouldn't be hard to contend that none of the films are actually scary. And that's not to say that they're not good, it's just that the best Child's Play movies are exemplary, fun slashers. You can take the kills kind of seriously, but the pleasure you derive from them usually stems from their inventiveness more than anything else. There's gore, but you're not grossed out. These movies scratch the horror itch in a big way, but they're not going to haunt your dreams. Whereas the first film was a more subdued journey of mounting tension until Chucky finally revealed himself to Andy's mother, the sequel accepted that there was no way to repeat such mystery now that audiences knew what to expect, opting instead to get the killer put back together and on his feet from the get-go to begin carving his path back to Andy. Essentially, Child's Play 2 gets to cut loose, allowing Chucky to get down to what he does best, as Dourif is given a chance to really shape the character's personality more than his first round. It's in this sequel that Chucky's status as a horror icon truly gets cemented, with his deranged sense of humor rising even farther to the surface without sacrificing Dourif's ability to keep the character chilling under the weight of just being a doll. With a snappy 84-minute runtime, Child's Play 2 is not only the shortest film in the franchise, but it's also the leanest, meanest, and most efficient. Very little fat needs trimming from the plot, meaning there are very few scenes that drag on too long, feel superfluous, and do not function to move the story forward. Even today, the movie flies by at a consistently absorbing clip. The rhythm and tempo keep things engaging throughout. Not surprisingly, the movie's greatest sequence comes when Chucky returns home, to the factory where he was both made and remade, terrorizing Andy and Kyle, Andy's foster sister, amidst brightly colored packaging and doll parts. Chucky is fake killed and brought back so many times in the scene it's hard to keep count. It feels like the creators came up with too many ideas and decided to use them all. It doesn't matter, though, because they're all great. and maybe the realization that it's more fun to wreak damage on Chucky rather than watch him off humans influenced the weird but welcome turns the series took in later installments. The body count is higher, the story is a slick progression of the first film, and the factory showdown indeed serves as quite an entertaining finale. In the end, the first sequel of the Child's Play series is its zenith, pushing the concept to its limit without resorting to the parody that later revived the series, while fully crafting Chucky into the character fans love. And perhaps most significantly, has any movie since made more effective use of a copy machine?
Snap out of it! You act like you've never seen a dead body before!